Hey everyone, I'm bringing you in to get started on this broccoli cheese soup. And the very first thing we have to do is to steam the broccoli. And this is the broccoli that came from the food bank 2 weeks ago. And so we're going to get this broccoli into the pan. And get it steaming. I'm going to see how much I can get in there at a time. We may have to do this in shifts. But this is 2 bunches of broccoli that I have here. That's 1 bowl of it. I think I'm going to go ahead and let that go ahead and steam. And I'll bring you back when I do the second one. We're going to let that steam for about 5 minutes. I thought I had the camera on, but I didn't. I added the broccoli into my food processor along with 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1.5 cups of heavy cream, and 1/2 cup of water. And I mixed that up until it was relatively smooth. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and put it into my pot over here. Right over here. So let me get the blade out of this food processor. And now this goes into the pot, and I'm going to get something to clean this out because I want every bit of this goodness in this pot. We don't want to waste any of this. This is the creamy part of it, so we don't want to waste any of this. No. All right, so we got all that in there. Okay. Then the next step, once we have this put in here, is I need it says use Verda chicken or vegetable bouillon, 4 bouillon cubes, and whisk in bouillon, pepper to taste, and 1 cup of water. So 4 bouillon cubes, 1 cup of water, okay? What I want to do is I'm going to take and dissolve the bouillon cubes first. So let me do that. I had to take a break from filming so that I could take the puppy out for a walk. While I was filming, he walked up behind me and drank a bunch of water. So now this thing calls for xanthan gum, but I've heard some really bad things about it. So I am going to not add that in there It's a thickening agent. It's basically what it is. But I think that we don't need it. And we're to stir this in there. There's enough salt in the bouillon for me that I don't need any more, but I am going to turn on the fire underneath this pot. We're going to add, it says pepper to taste, so we're going to add that. There we go, pepper to taste. And we're going to heat this up. So I'm going to bring this up to a simmer, and I'll bring you guys back. Stirring constantly, and I'll bring you guys back when it's there. I'm bringing you guys in to show you that it's coming to a simmer. And so at this point, I'm going to start timing it for 5 minutes. Stirring to make sure that it doesn't burn. We're going to let this simmer for 5 minutes. And I'll bring you back when the next stage. I've simmered this for 5 minutes. And now I'm going to come in with the cheddar cheese. And we're going to start working this cheese into the sauce, letting it melt in there. Slowly, I'm going to be adding the cheddar cheese. I grated this off of the block that I got from the food bank. Okay. And it was a perfect amount of cheese for this recipe. I'm going to keep working it in. Here's the last of it. You don't want to waste any of that cheese. I'm going to get it all out of there. And we're going to work this last bit in there, making sure it's all melting in. Using the residual heat from the cast iron to do the melting. Okay. All right, it has all been melted in. I'm going to put the lid on this, and we're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. Right, everyone. We are here, and I have me a cup of this broccoli cheddar soup, and my baby is finally getting comfortable. This is so good. So I'm going to put this in my rotation. From my little so good. And I only have a cup. I'm going to leave the recipe to this link down below. I'm going to put the recipe down below. And this is good. Now, the recipe said half of this broccoli needed to be left in little florets, while the other half blended up smooth. But to be honest, the way I like my broccoli cheddar soup is I don't like, instead I put almost all of the broccoli in and I ground it up semi-smooth with the broccoli florets being in small chunks. Because that's the way I like the texture of my broccoli cheddar soup. I don't like big chunks of broccoli in there. And it allows me to use all the stems up. In the soup, because it grinds it up in that food processor. And so, this is so good. All right, I'm going to enjoy my little cup of soup. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. I did not go to my exercise class today at 1 o'clock because I'm spending my time doing some of the things that I need to get done and spending time with my new baby, getting him adjusted to my house. He's finally coming around, getting curious, walking through the house. He's eating and he's drinking water. And so I'm good. I think he's good to go now. The only thing we have to do is name him, which by the time you see this video, he will be named. And his first vet visit. And he will definitely get his first vet visit on Friday. All right, I'm gonna enjoy this soup, and then we'll get in there and see what I'm gonna have for dinner, because this is gonna be my lunch today. I'm gonna have 3 meals today because I wanted to get that broccoli cheddar soup. I wanted to get it done. All right. And so I'm gonna let it cool down, and I'm gonna put it in containers, and then it'll be ready for me for 1 cup serving. So this is good. All right, I'll see you guys in a little while. When I get it, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring you back in when I get it portioned out. Good evening, everyone. I am finally getting to taking my car for a spin today. I was supposed to go to exercise class today, but I wanted to get the broccoli cheese soup done with you guys and get the broccoli out of the bottom of my refrigerator so I can get ready for the new produce that's going to be coming in tomorrow. Tomorrow is food bank haul day. And so I am looking forward to going to the food bank tomorrow. Now that I have most of the produce out of the bottom of my refrigerator. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've got so many things that I've got to do. And so I've got videos that I have to get done and put out. I want to switch all of my Halloween stuff, take all my Halloween stuff out and put it in a container and label it Halloween, because as I go through the holidays for the rest of this year and into next year, I want to organize all of my decor. I'm watching the traffic. Organize all of my decor and put everything in a box and label it. So all of my Halloween is going to go into a box and label it. And then all of the Thanksgiving stuff is going to go into a box and labeled, and so forth. All right. From this point on, I'm going to do it that way. And then when I get to Christmas, I'm going to go through all of my Christmas decorations, because I have a lot of it. And I'm going to decide what I'm going to keep and what I am going to purge out. Because I have decorations from way back when I was a teacher, all the way from when I first started teaching, all the way through all of the children that were in my house. And so I need to and then I was given a bunch of ornaments for themed Christmas trees. So, for instance, if I was doing a all blue Christmas tree, I have the ornaments to go with it. If I was going to do if I was going to do gold and red, I have a whole theme of ornaments for that. So I have to decide, what am I going to keep and what am I going to give away? And so those are the kinds of projects that are coming up that I need to work through. But like I said, one of the things that I need to do is to get videos for Timu done and continue to do my food bank hauls. So tomorrow is food bank haul, and I just saw a relative taking his daily walk around the block. That is neat. Yes, I do have relatives that are neighbors. And I see him taking his daily walk in the evening around this block that I drive. And so, yeah. He usually has his dog with him. I'm surprised he didn't have his dog with him. And I'm hoping at some point that I get to the point where I can take my dog on walks around the block. Not there yet, but having the new dog is going to motivate me to get out and take walks, which I've been doing since I got him on Monday. And so I don't film it because I'm training him to go on walks. He's never been walked. And so it's taken me several days to dodging the rainstorms to get him to go on a leash and go for a walk. Another thing that I'm also doing is he is in the car with me right now, and I'm training him to have a seat in the passenger. He's in a harness, buckled in. And so I'm training him to have a seat. And yeah. And everybody's taking their kids for a walk. It's so cute. My baby just got sick. All right. I'll see you at the house later. Hey everyone. Well, I had that broccoli cheddar soup, 1 cup of it, for lunch today. So let's take my glucose and let's see if it did anything to my glucose levels. Let's see. Ow. Some days that hurts and some days it doesn't. I don't know what it is. But let's see what the glucose is. Wow, I look like a mess today. 126, not bad, not bad. Now let me do the ketones. And here we go. .4. I'm in ketosis. I'm good with that. I'm going to get off of here and get this into the doctor because it is 5:30 in the evening. And then I'm going to bring you back and I'm going to go over my weekly report. All right. I'm here to read the results from last week. I know today is Wednesday and I am late on it, but that's all right. It is what it is. Okay, so my baseline A1C was 6.3. And so, my baseline was 6.3. Last week, my levels were between 6 and 6.4. And so I am below the threshold for type 2 diabetes. And then my fasting glucose was 144, up 5-point increase from the previous week, but still a decrease of 18 points from the start. So, and then my ketones were 1.6, a decrease of 0.6 from the previous week, but I've been in ketosis for, I'm going to read a report later, okay? And then my weight is 1/2 pound from previous week. So I lost a 1/2 pound. Now I'm going to go to a message from my coach. The message says, you are 2 months into Virta. The first 60 days are often the most challenging, and you have met this challenge and are well on your way to your goal to get your A1C into normal ranges and lose weight. In fact, you've lost 28.7 pounds so far. And right now we estimate that your A1C, that the A1C to be 6.2 based off the readings in the app. From your perspective, which behaviors or habits tend to drive lower blood sugar readings? That was the question she posed to me. And my answer to her was preparing and eating at home is the biggest factor. Eating out at functions tend to have hidden carbs that I can't see. And she wrote back and said, this makes sense. Preparing and eating at home gives you the control over what's in your meals. Have you considered any strategies for eating out to help manage those hidden carbs or eating things at events. And that was the question she posed to me today. So I have to sit down and think about, when I go to bingo, um, how am I going to control my carbs? And that's the question. Remember that last week I went and had jury duty, and jury duty, I had some what I thought was chicken salad, and it was. They rang it up as chicken salad, but it had some hidden things in there. Now, it did not affect my ketosis. It didn't pull me out of ketosis, but what it did do was it increased slightly my blood sugar for reading for the week. And so I'm pretty sure that that's what has caused my increase in blood sugar over the last week and this week, is that somehow I have eaten hidden carbs. And I believe that those are the 2 days that I ate out. That's what I believe. So now I have to figure out, how am I going to go to these functions and be able to enjoy the food and not slightly increase my blood sugars. All right. Is this is it critical to me? No, I am not like spiking my blood sugar. I'm not doing that. I'm just slightly increasing it. And so the question I have to ask myself as I go into the holiday season is it okay for me to take one meal during the holidays and maybe slightly increase my blood sugar? Not spike it, okay? Because I'm not eating cakes and cookies, and I passed all of that up. I ate a few strawberries, all right? Is it okay for me to eat a few strawberries? Is it okay for me to choose some of the lower carb kind of choices like I did and just slightly increase my blood sugar? Is it okay for me to do that? And that's kind of the question that I have to ask myself. I think I did very well during Halloween and during the 2 days that I had to go out, in making sure that I was within the carb limit. And I've been making sure that I'm within the carb limit every day, even while I was eating out. And so I have to ask myself those questions and tell myself that it's okay for me to enjoy once in a while, once or twice a month, a little outing. It's okay for me to do that, as long as I'm making wise choices and I'm not spiking my blood sugar. So I think I'm doing well off of my medication and controlling my diabetes that way. And they think as well that I'm doing well, okay? Because going into the holidays, I want to be able to go out to functions and enjoy functions while still staying to my plan. And so this is the first real challenge for me, is this month and next month. And so I have to practice as I'm going out, because Thanksgiving is around the corner, and I can have the turkey, I can't have the dressing, I can't have the gravy, I can't have all of that stuff, but how about if I start bringing stuff that I can have? And that way I can have the turkey and I can have the sides that go along. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is that I'm going to bring things to the meal that is on my eating plan. I think that's what I'm going to do. Now let's get in the kitchen and let's make me something to eat because I'm hungry. And I don't know what I'm going to make. Should I have a piece of the steak that I cooked up? Along with, we'll go see. Come on, let's go.